What's up, everybody? Les Victory here with an edition of Puck You Solo. No Mike Burns today. He's been unavailable for a little bit. So I'm going to come at you with some recaps and some insight on tonight's card. So let's get into it. And if you're a Leaf fan, go ahead and hit the close button now because you are not going to like what I have to say. But tell me I'm wrong. Okay. So let's look into a couple of things that happened last night for the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Boston Bruins game. Sheldon Keefe went on the interview post game and said Brad Marchand is an elite player at creating shit, essentially. Elite at getting away with things. Now, hold on, Sheldon. He's referring to the little scrum that him and Bertuzzi had at the blue line. And then the Boston, one of the Boston players comes down, shoots short side on Samsonov. It goes posting in. Okay. Lyubushkin did a terrible job angling, and it was just a bad goal all around. Some are saying, well, everyone thought the play was blown down because of play between the whistles. Like you got to play the game, and you play it until somebody's like, hey, man, the whistle went 10 seconds. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I wanted to make sure. You don't assume anything. It's the fucking playoffs, for God's sakes. So here's my problem with this. Did Marchand get an extra shot in on Bertuzzi and their little tripping affair where they're tripping and running into each other and falling over each other and everyone's trying to sell a penalty? Like, what if it was the other way around and Bertuzzi looked like he got the upper hand in that little scrum? Are all the Boston fans going to be whining that Bertuzzi didn't get a call on their captain? Like, fuck off. Like, it's enough is enough. The refs let them play. They let them play. These two guys have been at it the whole series. They were teammates. Now the rivals. They liked each other. Brad Marchand admitted that he likes Bertuzzi. Like, they were friends when they were on the same team. Well, fuck that. Not anymore. You're playing against him. Your life is on the line here. Your pride, everything. Yeah, he's going to do shit that you're not going to like, but that's what he does. He gets under your skin to get you off your game, and the distraction happens. And what does Brad Marchand do? He goes and puts up a 3-point night against you. Okay, so are you telling me that because no penalty was called on that little whatever that was, that's the reason why Boston won that game? Absolutely not, because here's the thing. Toronto, you had 5 fucking power plays. You were over 5. You are 1-11 this series. Matthews was quiet again. Nylander is MIA with a broken heart somewhere. Marner's been quiet. Oh, well, it was good to see Marty get on the score sheet. Okay, great. Yeah, he had a point. What did he do for the other 58 minutes of that game? He was quiet. When is Sheldon Keefe going to tell his guys, say, look it, shit's going to happen in the playoffs that you don't like. You're going to get the call sometimes. You're not going to get the call other times. Get over it. Go and win the fucking game. Do what you got to do to win, because there's only one type of person that makes excuses, and those people are losers. And that's all that Toronto has been doing, is making excuses. Winners find a way to win even when things don't go in their favor. That is not the Toronto Maple Leafs. They are too soft right now. They need to go and find a way to win. Shut your mouth. Be like, yeah, you know what? We missed the call. Who cares, boys? Let's go. Let's get it back. Toronto scores, and then they give up a goal 48 seconds or whatever, a minute later. How does that happen? Why? Why do you immediately stop playing after you score a goal? And this happens with several teams throughout the playoffs so far. team will score. Happened last night to Edmonton. Edmonton went down, scored. They're not even announcing the goal scorer's name yet. And LA's already scored again. I mean, it was a little bit of a fluke. Drew Doughty got tripped up and, ended up going in. This guy hasn't scored in fucking like 7,000 days or something in the postseason. It was just one of those nights for Edmonton. But as a Leaf, part of a Leaf organization, it's time to stop feeling sorry for yourself and go find a way to win. Because at the same time, you complain about Marchand, and then you got Domi running into Swayman in between whistles. What are you doing? It was at that moment, it seemed like the momentum changed in the game. Whether they're related or not, I don't know. But what were you thinking running into him? Like, that should have been a penalty. I don't hear the Leaf fans crying because, Domi should have got a penalty. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. That was a bonehead move on Domi. Hey, can you imagine if they would have called a penalty? Oh my God. I'm so glad I don't live in Toronto to listen to the bullshit. Put your pom-poms away and face the facts. Stop being a fan. Start looking at the game. Your team isn't as good as Boston. They haven't been as good as Boston. The better team won last night. Maybe not for the whole game, but for the majority of it, the better team won. That's my piece about the Leafs. If you don't like it, that's fine. But these are all facts, and I watched the game. On another note, let's talk about some bets. We had another big night. We have cashed 4 parlays in a row now, and I'm not talking 2 gamers either. We had a 3-game parlay yesterday, a 2-gamer. The night before, we had a 4-gamer parlay and another 2-gamer, and we swept them all. We're up like plus 1,500 on these parlays. People are making a lot of money right now. We're seeing it clear. Playoffs are a tough thing to handicap because everybody's game seems to elevate, and lines get kind of obscured because of it being in the playoffs. So we've done a good job as a team to go and find alternative bets, like prop bets, to replace, those straight money line bets, which can be very difficult to predict. We lost our bigger bet last night, the Dallas Stars. It made sense why they should win. They didn't. But the cool thing is even though we lost it, we were still well green on the night because all these parlays have been cashing. They've been lights out. We took the over in the Edmonton game. I'm probably going to be taking the over in that game every game this series. Stuart Skinner hasn't been that great. Cam Talbot hasn't been that great. There's a lot of firepower on Edmonton. With that being said, we look on to tonight. Only 2 games on the docket. Florida, Tampa, Carolina heads into Long Island. Sam Bennett has been ruled out. He is out week to week, so it's possible that he is done for the series. Now, he is a big, impactful player for Florida. So this could hurt. This will hurt Florida. You got a very desperate Tampa team that is now going back into their own barn, which they have won so many times before in. Obviously, Tampa's won and been to the finals several times over the last 10 years. They know what it's like to win. They know how to win in their own rink, and they do a great job of it. Bobrovsky stole the show. Even though Florida outshot Tampa, the shots that Tampa had were high-scoring chances. So Tampa needs to get going on special teams. During the regular season, Florida was one of the most penalized teams in the NHL. I think they were second most minors. And that has slowed down a little bit because it's the postseason, whether it has to do with the refs putting their whistles away a little bit, because this has been a very physical series. These guys have been banging bodies like crazy. It's been very physical. It's been very fast. You can tell these teams want to win. Tampa has to be better on the power play, and they have an excellent power play. Kucherov needs to get going. He needs to get back into doing his things, and I think he still is, but they're just not scoring off of the chances that he's creating, which is kind of a difference from the regular season. But of course, it's a difference. This is a postseason. Things naturally get tighter. The will to win becomes more imperative. Tampa's down 2-0. It's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to watching this one. Second game we're looking at is the Carolina Hurricanes headed into Long Island to face Patrick Roy's Islanders. Now, really interesting thing here, okay? You look at the last game, and the Islanders were up 3-0 in this game. And you had to think, well, that's a pretty good lead. That's a pretty good lead, and Carolina gets one at the midway through the second. And then it takes about halfway through the third for Carolina to get on the board again. Now it's a 1-goal game. They score again to tie it. And then 9 seconds later, they score again to take the lead. And then they cap it off with the empty netter. Just an insane turn of events. But that's the kind of shit that happens in Raleigh. That is a buzz of a place to play hockey in. And when you play at home and you get a little bit of energy from the crowd with a team as good as Carolina is, you're going to see some fireworks. You're going to see the team rise to the occasion. And that's exactly what they did. And the right team won. Don't get me wrong. The Islanders did not deserve to win that game. They had 12 shots on net, a whole 12 shots. And somehow 3 of them went in. Doesn't make sense to me. But that's why this is fun. That's why we do what we do. 2 good games going on tonight. We have done a really good job of seeing props. We are stringing together a big same game parlay for tonight between these 2 games. $29 gets you the card. $100 gets you the whole postseason. And the way we've been rolling, we've been printing money every day so far this postseason. We haven't had a red day since well before the end of the season. So it just makes sense that you give this a shot. If you're on the sidelines and you're unsure, we'll stay on the sidelines. And I post it whether we win or not in the Telegram. We're transparent. I post the winnings. I say, wow, tonight was amazing. Tonight sucked. Here's why. Let's move on. But we're rolling right now. And we're going to keep on rolling because this is what we do. We roll. We win at Why Lose. With that being said, I hope you guys jump in and start printing money with us. If you got questions, feel free to reach out to me on Instagram. I'm an open book. I'm willing to help as much as I can. NHL Why Lose at @WhyLose_NHL is our Instagram handle. Make sure you like and subscribe. Give us some comments. Do you like my hockey talk? Do you not? What do you want to hear more of? Put it in the comments. We don't have to listen to you, but we'll read it. Love to have it. Love playoff hockey. It's my favorite time of year. Like most hockey fans, there's nothing like postseason hockey. So, guys, get in $29, $100 for the rest of the season. Start making money.